Have you ever met that woman who simply disappears when she decides she's done? No drama, no long text messages trying to explain the obvious, no dramatic unfollow on social media. In one day, she is a safe haven, warm, present, and deeply comforting. On the next, it's as if she never even existed. She cuts off access surgically. You know what's most fascinating? The person left behind ends up completely distraught, swearing up and down that it came out of nowhere. But the truth is, it's never out of nowhere. There's an exact psychological threshold, an invisible line that the second it's crossed causes a woman to remove her presence forever, without giving the chance for one last explanation. Grab your coffee, your tea, and pay close attention here. We need to make one thing very clear. Walking away in silence has nothing to do with ego games. It's about pure emotional intelligence. Today, I'm going to hold your hand and teach you how to turn your silence into the most beautiful and powerful statement of self-respect you've ever made. Have you ever noticed how most people treat their own worth like a devalued currency? Those who live in insecurity turn their exit into a theatrical show. They create drama, drop subtle hints, and announce 3 times that they're leaving. Don't confuse that with a true departure. That is disguised emotional blackmail. It's trying to bargain with one's own absence in the desperate hope that someone comes to rescue them. But the woman who knows her true essence operates on a completely different frequency. Her silence isn't a spoiled tantrum. It's the sound of self-respect. She carries the absolute certainty that her presence is a rare and matchless privilege. And when she realizes that this privilege is being treated as something trivial or entirely worthless, she doesn't try to prove anything. She doesn't seek validation or demand an almost impossible change from a partner or friend. She simply steps off the stage. No prior warning, no drama. She just walks away like someone who isn't only seeking her peace, but claiming her dignity. There is an irrefutable fact about female psychology. As long as a woman is confronting you, trying to explain how she feels or asking for change, she is still emotionally invested. The complaining is love's final breath, trying to save the relationship. But when her voice goes quiet, that's where the danger lies. She has given up on playing the maturity teacher to a grown man, if he can even be called a grown man. The elegance of this woman lies in cold observation. She gives them enough rope to show exactly who they are. And when they show it, she closely observes every single word, every action, gesture. What truly flips the switch in the heart of a conscious woman isn't a grand argument. It's when someone's behavior stops backing up their words. The second someone's actions fail to match their pretty speeches, the spell is broken. She doesn't turn into a detective chasing half-truths. She doesn't demand accountability, nor does she beg for explanations. She simply understands that where clarity is missing, disinterest takes over, and her presence is far too valuable to linger in confusion. But there is a dangerous moment in this process. Cutting off access is only the first half of the journey. The real test of fire happens days or weeks later, when they realize the gravity of what they lost and try to force their way back, one way or another. There is an emotional trigger that causes even the smartest women to falter at this stage. Today, I'm going to reveal what this trap is, so you never fall into it. We were taught to believe in a romantic myth that we need a perfect closure, a mature conversation, or an apology to finally close a chapter. And what happens? We get stuck, held hostage by a conclusion that never comes, while the other person only offers half-hearted excuses. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The sheer disrespect was already your closure. The lack of consideration, the lazy effort, the subtle lies, all of that was already the period you needed at the end of the sentence. A woman who owns herself doesn't wait for the hand that wounded her to bring the cure. She picks up the pen herself, signs the end of that story, and moves on to a brand new chapter. My friend, your peace is sacred, and it doesn't depend on the consent of the person who hurt you. When you make the decision to move forward, you finally free your future from the grip of the past. Turning the page with your head held high isn't about ignoring what hurt. It's having the maturity to understand that your time is far too precious to be wasted on drafts that were never meant to become a real story. Everything in life is an exchange of frequency. When you spend hours reminiscing and complaining to your friends, rereading old text messages, or crying over what could have been, you are still donating your vital energy to that person. You are continuing to feed that connection spiritually. Giving yourself time, respecting your own space, means conducting a strict audit of your time. A high-value woman understands that her attention is one of the most valuable currencies. If someone proved they don't know how to manage or value the limited access they had, spending time and energy on them is emotional bankruptcy, a total disrespect to yourself. Your silence and your distance shut off the faucet of all your energy that was once directed at them. The biggest risk after all of this is falling for the illusion of shallow breadcrumbs. Someone who loses access to you will almost always try to test your boundaries before offering any real change. It's the classic low-effort reach-out, a bare minimum interaction just to check if you're still available. A conscious woman does not respond to breadcrumbs because she understands that giving attention to someone who treats her as a convenient option is devaluing her own presence. Forgiveness is about inner peace. Access is a privilege that must be earned. The trap is believing that replying out of politeness is maturity. It isn't. Responding to breadcrumbs shows you are still reacting from an emotional place. A high-status woman may forgive internally to cleanse her own heart, but the gates to her life remain locked tight. Access is a privilege reserved only for those who know how to honor their word and their actions. Silence hurts in the beginning. I know that all too well. But the pain of walking away is simply the price you pay for your freedom and inner peace. A conscious woman doesn't waste her grief romanticizing someone who failed to honor her. She takes that very same intensity and channels it into her own growth, finishing that pending project, going back to school, pursuing those missed career opportunities, everything that elevates you. Turn that pain and emptiness into personal growth. Fill yourself with purpose, because after all, the void didn't come to weaken you. It came to rebuild you. Understand what's happening in your mind when that longing hits your chest. Missing them isn't a sign that you were wrong to walk away. It's simply the natural symptom of your mind trying to romanticize the past. You don't miss their presence. You miss the empty promises you nourished for so long. Refusing to romanticize is what protects you. When doubt tries to shake your stance, turn to the cold, hard facts. The lack of reciprocity, the coldness, the absence of effort. The rational part of you knows that you don't miss what made you feel small. Walk through this phase with your head held high. Cry if you need to, but never grant your emotional urges the luxury of taking you back to where you were never celebrated. A woman who walks away in silence doesn't sit around in the dark grieving. She takes all that energy that was being wasted on trying to fix someone else and redirects 100% of that focus into building her own empire. She gets back to the gym, takes care of her skin, upgrades her wardrobe. She studies, expands her mind, and secures her financial independence. The ultimate response is never confrontation. It's your evolution, keeping the focus entirely on yourself. When you become unreachable and noticeably more radiant, your quiet success becomes the most elegant statement to anyone who thought you'd be worse off without them, anyone who assumed you couldn't handle life on your own. There is a huge misconception in thinking that the opposite of love is hate. Hate is merely inverted passion. It means that the other person still matters. If you waste anger, you are still handing over your power for free. The opposite of love isn't hate. Hate is still passion, still energy, still proof that someone holds the power to destabilize you. If you hate, you are still trapped. The true opposite of love is absolute indifference. The ultimate shield of a high-status woman is icy indifference. The peak of your emotional evolution happens the day the past loses its sound. Their name comes up, you see them on the street, and your body reacts with complete serenity. No trembling, no racing heart, no cheap nostalgia. They become simply a stranger with whom you once shared a space. And there is nothing more magnetic than a woman who is completely untouched by what is already gone. To wrap up our conversation today, remember this. Clearing your life of empty connections inevitably means watching your social circle shrink. But that isn't a loss, it's a filter. In the world of high status, quality will always prevail over quantity. You are simply decluttering your sacred space. You are showing the universe that your table no longer accepts last-minute guests. An elevated woman walks alone with grace to the top, rather than settling for company that drags her down. Self-love isn't something you wait for others to hand to you. It is the non-negotiable stance of someone who knows exactly the space she commands.